Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
All right, great to be with you. We could talk about the Eagles, we could talk about the Steelers, but my goal is not to depress the audience.
We'll get into them. We'll get into them later in the show because there are a lot of thoughts I have on both teams.
I have a lot of thoughts, you people.
But we got to start, Steve Jones, with the action that took place here in Happy Valley on Saturday, 7 p.m. kickoff, Penn State, Nebraska, and Penn State, I think it's safe to say, wiped the floor with the Cornhuskers.
They played about the way I thought they would play. So I want to start with this so people understand where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I always refer to Terry Smith as the head coach.
Yeah.
I have never, except when a story comes out, referred to whomever is on the sideline as the interim anything.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, once Tom Bradley was named the interim head coach, I then referred to Tom Bradley as the head coach. When Jim Ferry had to go through the entire season, when Patrick Chambers was let go, the story came out. I said the interim head coach will be Jim Ferry. That's the last time I referred to him as interim. At that point, if you were the decision maker on the sideline, one way or the other, you are the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right? So I've done the same thing with Terry. So I'm not making any kind of statement as to, what I think. I've always done that. Dan Dockich took over at Indiana. He comes in here. Boom, I referred to Dan Dockich as the head coach. McClendon had to coach the Gator Bowl against Penn State for Georgia. I said, he's the decision maker on this day. He's the head coach. That's always the way I've done it. Tim Skipper at UCLA, I referred to him as the head coach. Did not use the word interim because at that point,
you're the head coach.
Okay, you're the head coach. You're the one that's making all the decisions. Now, are you the head coach at the end of the year? Are you the head coach next year? That's up to the athletic departments to decide. But you're the decision maker. That's why I refer to Terry as the head coach, because he is at this moment the head coach on the sideline. Mm-hmm. Right? They don't all sit there in a committee going, "Gee, you think we ought to go for it on fourth down?" He's the one on the headset saying we're going or we're kicking. That means he's the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So to me, interim is when you are named that person, because the exact terminology is you've been named the interim head coach. Okay. Once the games are played, you're the head coach. There's nothing, anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's the case, I can tell you right now, Kirby Smart's the interim head coach at Georgia. Why? Because at some point he's not going to be the head coach of Georgia.
Is Lane the interim head coach at both Florida, LSU, and Ole Miss?
He's the interim. You name it, he's got it. And we're going to get into that a little bit later.
We will, but let's go.
Right, so now let's get
Valley.
to the game itself. What was the weakness I said last week for Nebraska? Running the football.
Yes.
Against them, which is going to be the MO this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Nebraska is actually better with run defense than Rutgers is. Right? But Rutgers has a better offense because they're more diversified with the quarterback, terrific wide out, a couple of them really, but one in particular. We'll get to that later. And then a running game. The problem Rutgers has is their problem is on defense.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the pass defense for Nebraska. That's why when we did the keys to the game, I said, because justifiably we're talking about Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton. Justifiably we're talking about Emmett Johnson. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But, when you go last on the keys to the game, you have to say something that somebody else didn't say. But I already had my mind made up.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd gone first, I would have said the same thing. I said, with all the talk about running, which will be important, I said, it's going to be the quarterback that makes the key throws in the game that will win the game one way or the other. Well, Grunkemeyer went 11-12, and think about the one he missed. It should have been pass interference.
Yeah, it should have pass interference, and he missed another one that was pass interference.
Right.
He, for all intents and purposes, had a perfect game in terms of just sheer
and he threw the ball beautifully. In other words, there was not – remember I'd said against Michigan State, a couple behind, kind of hung out, Kyron Hudson out to dry in a play. and he made a whole bunch of really good throws in that game. But he made a couple throws where, like, Jack and I are like, okay. Right? Not Saturday night. He was sharp. He was accurate. He put something on the ball. He threw the ball great and was protected. Although the one he threw to Ross that got inside the 20-yard line, boom, they got through. He got out of it. Boom, threw it. Right, made the play. He played a beautiful game.
He played a beautiful game, and you mentioned the offensive line and protection. That was what I think Penn State fans thought this season would be for this offensive line. Because
Jack and I thought that.
They put the one moment they put a foot wrong, Grunkmeyer steps up and fires in the pocket and makes throw to Ross. Outside of that, I cannot remember a moment in this game against Nebraska.
He got sacked once.
He got sacked once. But I can't remember a real moment where I was like, this offensive line isn't having an incredible game. Whether it was Vega Ioane in like the second quarter finishing a block and throwing his guy Michael Orr style like 30 yards downfield. Yeah. Like it was pure dominance on the offensive line from left tackle to right tackle,
right.
Tight ends and wide receivers. Kyron Hudson made a block where he laid somebody out.
Kyron Hudson is really good, is a good player. And I thought that was the best game Nolan Rucci has had as a Penn State offensive lineman. Right? So, look, they're protecting him. I thought the last quarter and a half against Indiana, the Penn State offensive line owned the game. Last quarter and a half against Michigan State, Penn State offensive line owned the game. And guess what? All 4 quarters on Saturday night, Penn State offensive line owned the game. I thought the tackling was look against this guy. Look, they kept him in to get 100 yards. This was the Ashton Genty Boise State Fiesta Bowl mode.
Johnson.
I'm talking about the Ashton Genty Fiesta Bowl mode where they kept him in for one extra series to get him to 100 yards, and he finished with 102. Well, Johnson. They kept him in. Once he got to 100, notice he left the game.
Yeah.
That was it. They're going to save him for Friday because they've got Iowa on Friday at home.
Yeah.
Right? But again, they only did it just to get him to 100 yards.
And you take out his 52-yard run.
See, that's the part. And Terry brought this up last night with the team. He looked at him. He said, look, we gave up a 57-yard run on the first play against Michigan State. On the first drive against Nebraska, we gave up a 52-yard run. He said, after we gave up the 2 runs, we were great. He says, we've got to be great from the first play and not give up that play.
That was it.
Right? But he talked about it last night. He talked about it with them. And I think that, that's an important point. Like, you don't want to give up anything. You don't want Benjamin to rip off a run. No. You don't want Raymond to rip off a run, right? You don't need Calic Manis making a pass play to Duff to make a play.
And what happens if Day-Day Lane can't get there and doesn't bring down Johnson towards the goal line and then gives the defense a chance to stop him? What happens if he ends up scoring?
And that was actually the key moment of the game. When Zane Durant shot through right on 4th down and they stoned him for a 1-yard loss. Penn State goes 98 yards the other way. Singleton and Allen were brilliant on the night. That's why the coaching staff named them co-offensive players of the week. I think people think, it's got to be Katron Allen. No, they named them co-offensive players of the week because when you look at the game, Katron had 160 yards. He goes past Evan Royster to be the all-time rushing leader. And he did it on 25 carries, no catches. Okay, Nick touched the ball 10 times in the game, right? 10 times, and he had 95 yards. Okay, pretty impressive. 2 more touchdowns. And he shot up the middle on that 1 touchdown run, the 50-yard pass play. That's why they were co-offensive players of the week. As to what they did, Zane Durant was the defensive player of the week. Zane Durant played. I mean, like we have to do the heating up, cooling down segment.
He's
okay. Got one right. I said 3 players tonight: Dennis Sutton, Zane Durant, and one of the tight ends. Right, and Rapplier caught the touchdown pass, his first ever, and Reynolds.
You have
on the fake punt
again.
And you watch the blocking of Dinkins.
Oh my gosh, Dinkins, Dom Ruley,
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah, Don Rulli was a special teams guy.
Yes.
Okay.
So
for what they've done, done, look, that was a complete game. They dominated offense. They dominated defense. They dominated special teams. Well, except for one area. The special teams. Look, if a guy like Barney is a really good kick returner, you got to take him out of the game somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know. And this is something I have to talk to Justin Lustig about. I just want to ask him, like, was the goal to kick the ball high and cover it? Right now, because it's late in the season, is that about as far with the wind conditions as Gabe can kick it? Right? Because he kicked the one out of bounds, so they got it to 35. And then, to be honest with you, the one touchdown that Nebraska had was a total gift. Okay? What are these people watching out there? Okay? On the punt, he gets hit. Okay. Who did he get hit by?
By his own player.
He got hit by his own teammate.
Because who was it who was on the
Davian Collins.
And he fully moved out of the way. He shifted out of the way. You can see it on the replay.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
First of all, he gets held.
Yeah.
Okay? He's held. Right? And then the guy hits him. So I talked to AC last night after practice. I said, just to let you know, I said, Jack Ham and I had your back on the air. We explained that you did literally nothing wrong, that Nebraska did everything wrong, I said, and that the officiating crew compounded it. Right? He says, I appreciate that. I said, no. I said, you did nothing wrong on that play. All right? I mean, you look at stuff like that. Stop guessing. Now, that's not a challengeable play. Okay? The only penalties you can challenge are, did the quarterback go over the line of scrimmage? And I'm trying to think, there's one other you can challenge. Intentional grounding. Did the ball cross? Did the ball cross the
line of scrimmage?
The line of scrimmage. So intentional grounding and going over the line of scrimmage, those two you can challenge. Those are the only penalties. You can't challenge interference. You can't challenge holding. You can't challenge punt interference. I mean, you can't do any of that. I mean, you're not allowed to challenge it. And I understand that because I think once you start challenging penalties, it becomes kind of a free-for-all. And, there's only so much time you play the game. Right? But that was like, we're watching, we go, that's a bad call. That's and that gave them the ball. Instead of having the ball at the 26, they got the ball at the 41. So it made life a little bit easier for them.
You take all of this that we've talked about, Grunkemeier's play, the play of the offensive line, the running backs, the receivers. This was the most complete game Penn State has played.
Yes.
Where, we haven't even discussed completely the defense yet. Where the Penn State defense, you mentioned Zane Durant stonewalling.
Well, I mentioned the tackling.
Johnson.
I mentioned the tackling.
Amari Campbell played lights out tackling. Darius Dixon had, I think, 8 tackles on the day. He played well.
But again, they tackled well again, like they did against Michigan State, against a guy whose MO is justifiably he's earned it.
Yeah,
a guy that breaks tackles. They did a great job of tackling him, getting him to the ground. They also did a great job, for the most part, of keeping lane integrity on Latif. Latif is the kind of guy that can get outside. What's interesting to me is that they didn't run any option plays.
No, they didn't run options.
I thought they were going to run an option with him because, it's on the tape that he runs it. I've seen it.
Every time he would escape the pocket, there was someone there to keep him at least contained, so he had to try and find a throw downfield, and he couldn't find a lot of them. And that gave Penn State time to chase him down and bring him down either for a 1-yard gain. It was limited.
Yeah. So as for and the coverage was great. I thought they covered really well. Those are good receivers.
Yeah.
Those are good receivers. Barney's a good receiver. I think Hunter's a good receiver. The face mask thing got a little ridiculous. AC got called for a face mask, Collins. And he's got his hand on his face mask. But boy, they got Katron Allen.
They got Katron Allen on the I will not forgive the referees. I didn't see the replay, so I don't know. But for me sitting there, it was like, he gets this play. He finally breaks the record. Everyone freaks out, and that was the record-breaking run. And then all of a sudden, it's we're pulling it back face mask. And then also it looked like Katron got hurt on the play, and it was just like, oh, come on.
No,
he came in a few plays later and got the run after a 1-yard loss. It was just
I didn't see what he did or what he didn't do. Okay, That's why I didn't complain about it.
I know.
But the problem I have with the call is when AC got called for it, he pulled back right away. He did put his hand on it. That's legit.
Yeah.
But Hunter stuck his hand right in his face mask. So that's okay. But it's not whatever. It's like that's water under the bridge. Now, as for the record, okay,
Katron Allen officially the number one all-time Penn State leading rusher.
I want to get to the asterisk crowd. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay, well, he's gone 4 years,
and
so what? Okay, it's like the Roger Maris Babe Ruth thing. Roger Maris hit 61 home runs. Babe Ruth hit 60. Yes, Roger Maris did it in 162 games. Ruth did it in 154. So how many home runs in the 8 games do you think Ruth might have hit? He could have hit none. I have no idea.
May I give you a challenge to this, to the fans out there saying he played 4 years? He also had the number 5 all-time leading rusher in Penn State history playing alongside him.
Right.
Like we had this discussion post-game. Myself and Jason Lord discussed this of like 2 of the top 5 rushers all time in Penn State history in terms of sheer yards. Nick Singleton's currently tied.
It could be 2 of the top 3 when
2 of the top 3 when all said and done. They played at the exact same time, and it wasn't like even a Saquon and Miles Sanders, where Miles Sanders was clearly a secondary. They were for 3 years were splitting reps. It was 15 and 15. Right. And that was how it was done.
Well, that's why he's able to. One of the reasons he's able to do what he's doing this season,
because he's fresh,
is because he's fresh. I mean, that splitting of reps. Because Timmy Singleton, who is Nick's dad, talked to Katron about this, about how much fresher he's going to be when he goes into the league because of the way the setup is. It was Tim that talked to them about it. Katron is a special kid. People talk about NIL and what it can mean. Everybody knows everybody's getting money now. But Katron came here, and he didn't want to smile. He didn't talk much. Right? If you said something to him, he goes, "Yo, dog." I'm not joking here. I'm telling you, like, those were my interactions with him. Well, part of the problem was, Katron's teeth were not perfect. All right. So as part of the NIL deal for him, he ended up getting Invisalign. It changed everything for him. You see him smile now? Look how great his teeth look. Well, the second that happened, he became Chatty Cathy. Okay, right? Because now his personality came out and how funny he is. And everything like that. It's so, when people talk about NIL, well, without that, as an example, that really helped him. It helped him come out of his shell because now he wasn't self-conscious about it. And it made such a big difference for him. He is such a talented guy. I'll never forget, on National Letter of Intent Day, I'm emceeing it, and Jay Wansider at that point was the running backs coach. And, so it was his job to announce, hey, they'd get Singleton, right? And then he was going to announce Katron. And, of course, his nickname is Fat Man. Okay. And it goes back, when he was a baby. He was, okay, it's like Chop Robinson was the older. I saw Chop on Saturday.
He was nicknamed Pork Chop.
Because he was 14 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, holy.
Which, you know what? Fair.
Oh, no. He told that story at Quarterback Club, and every woman in the room went, oh. Right, the guys are like, really? That's a problem? It's like the woman like, yeah, it's a problem.
Right? So Fat Man's getting announced.
So he gets announced, and I looked at him, and I said, Jay, that's interesting. 2 running backs. He said, Steve, it'll be worth it. He said, this kid's worth it. Like, we knew Singleton because he was in state. Okay? And Katron is, out of Norfolk, but he went to IMG down in Florida. And he said, Steve, this kid will be worth it. He said, take my word. And Jay was right about that. He's been worth every ounce. That playoff run last year,
oh my gosh,
he was a big reason why they got there because he fueled it with that offensive line. We're seeing the same result now here at the end of the year with this offensive line and Katron Allen and Nick Singleton together taking over games and what a difference it makes. Now, the only people that should have complaints, because remember, the rules have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Right? Lydell Mitchell could only play 3 years. There were no red shirts in his era, and the freshmen were not allowed to play. Franco Harris, freshman, not allowed to play, no red shirts. He played 3 years. Charlie Pittman, no red shirt, no freshman year, played 3 years. Okay? It wasn't until 1974 freshmen were allowed to play. So that's one. Now let's get to the second one. And this is the one that, in my opinion, they need to take a look at. Okay? Up until 2001, bowl stats did not count.
Interesting.
In other words, Ron Dane ran for all those yards at Wisconsin, but all of his bowl numbers don't count. So I'm going to give you an example. You know who the all-time leading rusher is for Penn State in the history of bowl games? It's Kurt Warner.
Ooh, and he's, of course, sitting here fourth all-time, 33.98.
Well, he had over 400 yards rushing in bowl games. He had 3 consecutive 100-yard rushing games in bowl games. Fiesta Bowl, first play of the game against Ohio State, took it 64 yards for a touchdown. Okay, next year, Fiesta Bowl, USC. Yeah, Marcus Allen, Chip Banks. Well, Chip Banks would be defending him, right? First play from scrimmage for Penn State. He took it 60 yards for a touchdown. Then the next year, against Georgia in the national championship game, Kurt ran for over 120 yards. He outrushed Herschel Walker, right? He ran for over 400 yards in bowl games, right? But those numbers don't count. See, and that's where the argument comes in. But again, we're talking different eras. This era said freshmen couldn't play, you couldn't redshirt. This era said that freshmen can play, you can redshirt, but your bowl stats don't count. This era says you can, that freshmen can play, you can redshirt, and every time you step on the field, the numbers count, right? So you just go by what the era says. And look, in 139 seasons of Penn State football, has anybody rushed for more yards than Katron Allen? No, he's the all-time record holder.
And that's...
Case closed. We're done. Nobody else has done it.
It is literally like, why as soon as something fun happens and positive of Katron as the all-time leading rusher Penn State, is it like, but no, just can we celebrate awesomeness for once? Katron Allen.
I am so sick and tired of the negative Nellies of the world where you just sit. I'll sit there like this and go, really? Can you be happy for anybody? I mean, there are people out there just flat out aren't happy and they find something to complain about. This guy's been great. Okay? Okay? I've called every yard of his career. Okay? I called every yard of Evan Royster's career.
Yeah.
I called every yard of Saquon Barkley's career. Like, come on. All right? So, right?
It's
okay,
ridiculous.
Guess what? Celebrate greatness. For anybody in that stadium, you saw a slice of history. On Saturday night. It was great. It was fun. Nobody else has ever done it. Okay? Nobody else has ever done it. So guess what? You know, I think it's something to, and he's not done yet.
No, because
he's going to add on to it here.
He's going to add on in this game.
I don't care how many games you go. I don't care how many years you go. If you've reached something that nobody else in 139 seasons has reached, it is a special milestone. I don't care about the circumstances.
In the literal history of the school, he is the #1 rusher all time. But just leave it that. Like, that is. It doesn't. I don't care about anything else. He is the leading rusher all time. And then there's a real chance this coming weekend in Piscataway, Nick Singleton is the all-time touchdown leader for Penn State.
He needs one.
He's tied right now with Saquon
Barkley.
So if he gets one rushing touchdown, he's all-purpose and he's got rushing touchdowns combined. He's got both of them.
Yeah,
he's one away from breaking that record because he got 2. And I think you joked with Katron. You were like, he was like, I should have gone down to the 1 so Nick could get the touchdown. It was like, It's fair. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I could have gone 1 less yard. He could have gotten the record. That would have been really cool. But now Nick's tied. Katron is the all-time leading rusher. And loop into that, the coolness of Zachy Wheatley almost having having one of the almost interceptions.
Yeah, we could see right away it hit the ground.
It was, I know,
like,
but
okay,
it was just
done.
like so close to having one of those like,
but see, the officials officiate that correctly. In other words, we let the thing play out, see what happens. That's absolutely the way it should be. Then they look at the replay. Okay, it hit the ground. Okay, by the way, when it hit the ground, what did the clock say? Okay, that's officiated correctly.
Yeah.
I thought the end of the first half was officiated correctly, right? There was a little scrum there. They called unsportsmanlike conduct offsetting on each side, ended the half.
Yeah, and then
right, that was a good job by Ron Snodgrass and his crew to take care of it that way.
It was a great job. Other games that happened this weekend before we get into the rest of the football stuff and this week's slate of things. Ohio State beat aforementioned Rutgers, beat them down 42-9.
Yeah, but that game took a while. It was 14-3 at halftime. But this goes back to a couple things. I mean, Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate did not play. Gut feeling, I think they might make it this week. But Jack Ham and I, going into the Ohio State game when Penn State played there November 1st, really neither one of us was enamored with the Ohio State running game. I'm watching this Rutgers game, and Ohio State ran the ball, but again, it's not Ohio State's strong suit, and I think that allowed Rutgers to hang around longer. Plus, Ohio State fumbled the ball, which that didn't help. But then in the second half, they just took them apart. I'll say this: Elad, number 9, safety, who leads them in tackles, has a couple of interceptions, and has a block kick this year. And O'Neal, 99, are two very, very good players. They need to control O'Neal, 99. He's got like 9 tackles for losses, 5 sacks. Good player. But Ohio State was able to run the ball, right? Not big chunk plays in the running game, but they could run the ball. And Jack and I don't think they have a great running game. We think it's good. We think Ohio State's running game is good. Neither one of us thinks it's great. Right? I mean, simple as that. And they won the game big. I give Dan Lanning credit
for the Oregon USC game.
Yeah, they won it. And then what he said afterward, he said, "We're out here playing USC." He said, "We're in a tough conference. We play 9 conference games." He said, "We're not out playing Chattanooga State."
Are you out there referring to the fact that Texas A&M played Samford, Georgia played
correct.
Charlotte, Alabama played Eastern Illinois? Which one?
But Charlotte's FBS, so let's be fair about that. Okay, Charlotte is an FBS program. The other two are FCS, and Samford's 1-11.
Samford's 1-11. Charlotte's 1-10. Eastern Illinois is now 3-9.
Right, but Charlotte again is an FBS school. That's to me, it's a different category, different ball game. Okay,
but the other two,
are FCS games, and can you believe he took a shot at? Good for him. Good for him. Yeah. Now this argument should change next year when the SEC finally goes to 9 games. The ACC finally goes to 9 games. But good for him. Somebody had the chutzpah to go out and tell everybody the truth because you weren't going to get the truth on game day.
It's chutzpah, by the way.
Chutzpah, whatever. You're not going to get because you're not going to get the truth on game day. Okay, yeah. I mean seriously, you watch game day. Did they bring it up? Oh yeah, okay, and they moved on. No, if you're going to claim to be the consciousness of college football, then be the consciousness of college football and tell everybody they shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Other games,
but we can't do that because we got this great deal where it's the SEC all day on ABC. Aren't these great games? No, actually, they're not.
No. Other games that went on throughout the day. Missouri lost Oklahoma 17-6. Bo Priola did return in the game for Missouri. Yeah. BYU beat Cincinnati 26-14.
They needed to score a touchdown on an opening drive. The holding penalty derailed them.
Yeah.
So.
And then Utah won a wild one, 51-47 over Kansas State in just a truly insane day where Joe Jackson, the running back for Kansas State, 24 carries, 293 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Miami beat Virginia Tech 34-17.
The Pitt win was big. They got up 28-0. Georgia Tech tried to come back, but Pitt won it. Now Pitt's got Miami this week. Pitt's got Miami this week.
It'll be a big game
at home, and the place will be half filled.
Vanderbilt beat Kentucky.
The place will be half filled.
I know.
I'm telling you.
Half is being kind. Vanderbilt beat Kentucky 45-17. Texas beat Arkansas 52-37. Michigan beat Maryland 45-20.
One more guy on the radio telling me, I'm listening yesterday. There's two guys on, and one of them was Derry Noka, right? And the other guy says, well, Texas beats Texas A&M. I say, and some other things happen. The guy, and Derry Noka says, no.
Good.
Right? I was like, I'm thinking, well, it's about time again. Tell the truth. Mm-hmm. Texas has no shot of getting into the playoff, even if they beat Texas A&M. Okay? They've got 3 losses.
Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be in.
They're done. Mm-hmm. Okay? They're done.
You go down, Michigan beats Maryland 45-20. Yeah. Tennessee beats Florida 31-11.
Tennessee's got Vanderbilt this week.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee has 3 losses. They're out
done.
of it. But Vanderbilt is trying to fight its way with 2 losses into the conversation.
They're in the bubble range right now at 14. Wisconsin takes down number 21 Illinois 27-10.
Let's give Luke Fickell and Wisconsin.
They played well.
They've played well 3 games in a row, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's give a little bit of, ever since they gave him that
vote of confidence. He's coming back. It's like everything's settled down there. Mm-hmm.
Look, the guy is a good coach.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good coach, and they've won 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm. Other games, TCU beat number 23 Houston 17-14.
Yeah.
Tulane beat Temple 37-13. Arizona State beat down Colorado 42-17. And the game of the week that I wish did not happen, Notre Dame wins 70-7 over Syracuse in a game where Notre Dame's offense didn't touch the ball and was up 21-0 in the first quarter.
Two things have happened at Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
One was Steve Angeli getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that the overreaction post-game at UConn,
mm-hmm.
it turns out, guess what? UConn's actually a good team.
Mm-hmm. Joe Fagnano, I believe the quarterback is really good.
He finally threw his first interception a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
He had, at that point, 27 touchdowns, no picks. He finally threw one. But UConn's very good. Are they great, awesome, and incredible? I'm not saying that, but they're very good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his team out there running sprints. I'm telling you right now, stuff like that, that doesn't fly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That doesn't fly. And especially when people can see it. Okay? No. Okay? Number one, you won the game. You won the game.
Mm-hmm.
He is now finding out how hard it is to win.
Yeah.
Winning is difficult, Fran. It's difficult. And guess what? They won that game. Tough, hard-fought game, and they won it in overtime, right?
UConn?
Yeah.
They won, 27-20 in overtime. Right. And then they beat Colgate, and then they beat Clemson. That was the big game. That was the one Angeli gets hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They beat them.
And the Clemson game, they played beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
But, I see stuff like that. I'm like, it's like, I'm sitting there like, I don't mind if he runs them in practice, but you don't run them on the field after the game. This is not Herb Brooks in Norway, where they were going back and forth. And the guys on the U.S. Olympic hockey team will tell you the reason he did it was he was trying to get Mark Johnson, because Mark Johnson's Bob Johnson's son. He's trying to get him toughened up, right? And it was played up a little bit in Miracle. He said, but they did it.
Yeah.
But that was also done where nobody was watching on TV. Right? This is one, everybody could see it. You don't do that. Okay? If you want to do that on Sunday or you want to do it on Monday or Tuesday, fine. Okay? But don't do it then after a game, because guess what? You've now cheapened the win. Right? And it turns out that wasn't a bad win. Right? UConn is not bad. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? And you do that and you're like, well, geez, we won the game. You're supposed to feel good after you win. You're not supposed to go, well, that wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me. If you don't mind me saying, I think victories should be celebrated.
And you loop that in with the rest of the Syracuse what feels like, as an alum,
they got destroyed.
They got slaughtered. And this is where the defense of Syracuse was touted as this is going to be a good defensive team.
Yeah.
Like this team, you can see it. Freshman Demetrius Samuels Jr. is one of the top 20 freshmen playing right now in college. He's playing incredibly well at corner, and it's great. And they just got annihilated.
Right.
And it was big play. It was like, I'm going to read you. I read this post game with Jason, and I was just like, I'm stunned.
Right.
First quarter, pick 6, 2 plays in. 3 plays later, you've got blocked kick or blocked punt, touchdown.
Yep.
6 plays later on the next drive of Syracuse, pick 6 for Leonard Moore. 2 plays later for Notre Dame on their first drive, Jeremiah Love touchdown.
Yep.
Notre Dame's next drive, 3 plays, 58-yard touchdown for Price. Okay, 35-0 end of the first quarter. This is bad.
Yep.
Second quarter, passing touchdown for CJ Carr after 6 plays because they get the ball because it's a bad punt.
Yep.
Okay. Next drive, 4 plays, 59 yards, Jeremiah Love, 14-yard touchdown in the second quarter.
Yep.
49-0. At that point, pretty much game's over. Third quarter, 3 plays, a 68-yard touchdown run of Jeremiah Love. And it just, this was bad.
Yeah.
And Syracuse has had a good defense, and you saw it last season. They had a great defense alongside Kyle McCord's offense. It was great. It was humming. The defense played well so far this season, and then just, I don't know what it was, but the wheels fell off, and it is gone from happy sunshine rainbows at 3-1 to start the season after losing to Tennessee only, who's, again, a top 20 team in the nation.
Yep.
That was the only loss you have. Okay. To all of a sudden just, if your quarterback going out does this to your defense, that's a problem. And that's what happened this weekend. It was, I am upset as an alum seeing, this is the 4th worst loss.
That's hard.
It is the 4th worst loss in program history. The other 3 above it were all in the 1890s.
Yeah.
It is the worst loss in the 20th century or later. So this happens. A weekend of college football, to say the least.
Yeah.
You move over then to the NFL side of things.
Yeah, we've got only a couple minutes here. But,
yes.
Look, Aaron Rodgers, I guess, is going to play this week.
He's going to play this week. He did not play this past weekend.
But that's not the only reason why. They still gave up 31 points. Their defense gave up the 31 points. The Bears at times can be erratic, and at other times the Bears can be exciting.
Yeah.
I think that Monangai, which Jack and I watched him at Rutgers, he is a tough running back. Makes a difference. We know that Williams has really come on at quarterback. Still makes mistakes. Okay. Nice tight end in Cortland Loveland. Dunzier is really good. Defenses for the Bears should be a little bit better.
They're banged up.
There's no doubt. I mean, they got the Eagles Friday. Now the Eagles.
Oh, boy.
Okay. 21-0. You should be coasting home at this point. I think a play that impacted only field position because the Cowboys went for it on 4th down is the punt play in the 4th quarter. Let's start with this. Why are you fielding the punt at the 1? Right? Then he takes off and he gets tagged and shockingly fumbles the ball and the long snapper recovered. Now, the Cowboys did not score, but it changed the field position game and it kind of opened it up for them. But that tells you mentally where the Eagles are right now. He fields a punt on the 1. And this Eagles defense, which the last 2 weeks, they gave up almost nothing against Green Bay. They gave up almost nothing against Detroit. And in the second half against Dallas, it was ridiculous. Now, I know guys were getting hurt. Blankenship got hurt and so forth. But this is the fire with which Philadelphia is playing with right now. When you have a series of relatively close games, and they have, right? Even there were some of their wins. The Ram win was close. They had to come from behind. They blocked the kick at the end, right? The Green Bay game was close. The Detroit game was close. When you got those margins like that, it doesn't take much to turn it.
that's the rule you and Dick Girardi have instilled in me in college basketball. If you're winning games by a lot,
blow them out.
Yes, blow them out. Don't win games by 2, because at some point that 2 becomes a -2.
We talk about make 5-10, make 10-15, make 15-20. Same thing in football, right? Why do I always, and I'm the one that brings it up a lot, as you know, right? I'm the one that always says over and over again, need to make this a 2-possession game. Got to make it a 2-possession game. Got to make it a 3-possession game. There was 11 minutes left, and I said, Jack, 11 minutes. Penn State has a 4-possession advantage. I said, Nebraska has no chance. They're not going to get 4 possessions in 11 minutes. You got to do math on stuff like that. All right? And that's why we talk about possessions, increasing leads. The other night, Penn State just kept, well, need more points, need more points, need more points. All right? And they did it.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.